From Mexico to Berlin and all the broadcasts we've been in, it's a substitute broadcast team for you today here on the Master Race Cars E-Challenge Round 2. So unfortunately we're missing Travis and Tom, but my name's Eoin Harmon and I'm joined today by Zdravko Topolnjak. Zdravko, how are things with you?
Good evening, everyone. I'm fine, excited for this race. Hope you brought your umbrella, Eoin, with you.
Yeah, I always have some sort of wet weather clothing and umbrellas with me. I'm Irish after all, so can't be blamed for that. So here we are. This is the Berlin arena for the E-Challenge, the round 2. Free practice has been completed and we're moving now into our 10-minute qualifying session where you're allowed to leave the pit lane twice, but no more than that, otherwise that'll be the end of your session. Then we will follow up by our 15-minute duels where the top 8 contenders in our qualifying session go head-to-head in a bracket format, so the top seed against the 8th seed and so on and so forth. Then we'll have a 20-lap sprint at the top of the hour, and then the 33-lap feature coming in at about 45 minutes from now. This is the very wonderful car designed by Michael Malik of Master Race Car. It is the E-Challenger EVO, the fully electric 51 kilowatt rear-wheel drive car with 469 brake horsepower and just a very lightweight 770 kilos, and it has a mixture of tires that can go onto slicks or has the road supers for the wet conditions. And now we have our schedule on the screen. So this is the second half of the championship. Well, we're into the second half, coming soon, I suppose. This is round 2 of 4, with the conclusion of the championship coming up in May in New York and Portland. But yeah, this is the European stop on our way to stateside, and our championship after the first round looks like this. So Imran Azar picked up 70 points in his 2 appearances, of course, with Adam Brown combining his tallies for 55 points. Carlos Motocitas, Nico Pantola, Timu Sarkkinen, Roni Kronpush, Jared Mead, Cyril Basset, 1st through 8th, and then Lucidi and Vitor tied for 9th place on 20. Our team's championship has Team Sidus running clear with 114 points. Adam Brown has represented our broadcast team here. He's picked up 55 points, with Zaffaralis, Race Green, and Yes Motorsports all tightly compacted there in the remainder of the top 5. We're ready to take a look at our drizzly Berlin circuit now. So here we go. Our cameras have been set up to the greatest possible detail, Zdravko. So let's see how these drivers get on.
Yeah, so I think we're looking at Ronnie at the moment. So the track is wet, so that will pose a challenge for drivers. There's a big need to adjust the braking distance, and also the grip in the corners is much less.
Mistake there from Jeff and Jacob. I just saw on my screen. He missed turn 7, I believe it was, the tricky left-hander, but he's able to reverse and try all over again. Yassine Badal there, P6 at the moment. I suppose the amount of drivers we do have fewer than, I believe it's about 30, so we don't have to worry too much about the 110% rule, but the top 8 to reach the duel section of the session, that is very much the target for all these drivers. And as our championship leader, still hanging on very strong with a 1 minute 10.7.
Yeah, I've noticed a name out of connection list, and Gabor is not here today, I see.
Yeah, I don't see him on my list either. Yeah, so it's a great shame that he hasn't been able to come back. I remember 2 weeks ago he was ill, so he had to withdraw his participation in the duels, and yeah, he was rooted to the bottom of the championship with no points. Really disappointing for him, I can imagine. But maybe he'll feel the need to come back and help out his Sidus compadres in Azar and Pantola.
Yeah, let's see what Motojuices manages to do. He was quite fast in first round. I think that Nico is quite close to Azar at the moment, so maybe he can master something in the wet conditions. It's quite different. You never know how much somebody practiced for the dry race or the wet race, because I think that the weather forecast kind of threw a spanner in the works for many people.
Yeah, and I believe the actual rain showers from the clouds has stopped, so we have a wet surface, but the sunshine is starting to break out a bit, so the drivers may have to strategically consider whether they just run around the track, burning up their electricity and then waiting for the track to officially dry and then getting a proper lap in, or do they just sit in the pits and hope that something will change in the forecast. Of course, it can adapt, and the rain can restart at any moment, so these drivers have to be ready and willing to take on any and all challenges. This is the challenge after all. So here is Matthias Arni, just briefly there. He's trying to improve from 15th on the grid. Pedro Vitor for MRC will be trying his best to see if he can get into the 112s. That will get him into the top 10. So yeah, it is a very competitive field here, Zdravko. If you look, I suppose, away from our championship contenders, 1st to 4th, there are so many very narrow times that could make a huge difference come the duels.
Yeah, I think that the big thing here is track state is wet, but there is no rain, so each driver can do 2 timed laps. And do you do a 1 banker lap now and just hold on with another, and then hope for a track to go dry just in time for you to set a lap on a slicks and just ride your luck? Or do you try to do 2 fastest possible laps on the wet and hope the track doesn't go dry? There's
Yeah,
a strategic element here. I think people happy with their first laps won't bother going for a second lap on a wet and will just wait.
Yeah, that's very true, Zdravko. If you have the time in hand already, you can wait and hope that the weather doesn't change. But if it does change, you're right in your garage and you can go again. So yeah, as we recall, the limit is you can only leave the pit lane twice, but you can set as many laps as you want in this 10-minute session. So you have about... Oh, here we go.
So
yes.
track is dry, yeah?
There
Let's
it
see
is.
who
So
gets
everyone
out of
needs
pits.
to scurry on out, either get into pit lane immediately. Here's Ronnie, for example. He's switched over. So everyone needs to get out now. It's almost a one-shot qualifying here. That could be absolutely incredible.
Well, I don't see Eoin Mazar going out of pits.
Well, he might be waiting to the very last minute, Zdravko. If I were him, I wouldn't get involved with traffic.
I think if you wait for the very last minute with like 20 cars on the track, everybody will try to pull up some space for them. So maybe you will just get up to the train. We might be having similar situation to Formula 1 at Monza when they kinda bunch up.
Yes, true.
So 1 minute 50, we still don't have Eoin Mazar going out. I reckon he still needs like 1 minute 25 to get an outlap in with all the traffic.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, you need about 15 seconds of prep time. Here's Sarkkinen taking a high line through the final corners to get the maximum release. And you can see him, his camera on the bottom right of your screen. He is streaming on his own Twitch channel, so you can check out his own onboard from the cockpit cam. So yeah, head down. Everyone has to be on full concentration. Anything that puts them off will potentially knock them out of our top 8 duel session. So at the moment, Jared Mead is on the bubble with that 1 minute 12.49.
Yeah,
that is entirely irrelevant if it's dry conditions now.
And I gotta apologize for my blindness because I was watching the drivers going out of pits and I somehow missed Eoin Mazar going out. So he is on a track with slick tires. So all is well in the world for him.
Yeah, so here he goes. He's got time in hand, and our championship leader for Team Sidus is now down to work now. We'll see times flying in now. Carolus Machajitis up to third. He should be secure. Yassine Vidal,
a very good lap, yeah.
Secure, I believe. That should be good enough. Anything else that may occur?
So let's see what Adam does.
Yeah,
he was
this is
fast
for Adam,
in first round.
Cross the line, P2. Nice. That'll get him through for absolute certainty. Lucidi, 7th place there, jumping nicely into contention. Ramon Hornos for Born to Race. He's made it reasonably close. Just kicked out now. And Mehmet Koshkun has broken into the top 3. That is superb. Brilliant lap time from our other MRC competitor.
This was definitely a one-shot quali now.
Yeah. Jared Mead, he would have preferred it to stay wet all the way through, but if he can get these slick tires and his electricity to full synchronization, he will hopefully get himself back in. But it's 1 minute 3.46 required or better. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, he certainly can. There you go. 1 minute 3.04 gets the Canadian through. I don't see anyone else at the moment. The checkered flag is flying.
I think that's everyone
is done.
Yeah. So that was interesting end to the session.
Yeah, certainly livened things up a bit. Because if you were trying glory laps in the wet and then it started to dry up very quickly, it would have meant your efforts would have been for absolutely nothing. But here we go. Here's our top 8 that will advance to our duel session. Imran Azar, the quickest of all, a 1 minute 2.38. He'll be joined by Adam Brown, Mehmet Koshkun, Nika Pantola, Jared Mead, Yassine Badal, Carlos Motojitis, and Roni Krumpush. They are through. The best of the rest, it's Timu Sarkinen and Dan Bala in the top 10. Lucidi, Hornos, Gonzalez, Sarkinen, Desai, Agostino, Vitor, Jeff and Jacob, Scone Roberts, and Matthias Arni are our remaining drivers that will have to wait for the duels to be completed.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Let's see what the weather will be for duels, because the weather is still cloudy, I think.
Yeah, it could certainly evolve again during the duels. So the rules are that the drivers that are eliminated in the quarterfinal stage, depending who it is, they will line up in the order of their seeding. So let's say Nico Matola P4 doesn't make it to the semi-finals, he will have priority over drivers 5 to 8, for example, if they don't make it to the semis themselves. So it isn't a case of the drivers getting punished for maybe the one lap not going to plan and they sink all the way down. They do have that slight armor to their names, I suppose. That means it won't be the end of the world if something goes wrong in the duels. So yeah, Imran Azar, the top seed, the number 1, will go head to head with Roni Krumpush as one example. And then like the March Madness basketball, or maybe Copa Libertadores football, you go 2-7, 3-6, and 4-5 in terms of the actual quarterfinals. So we'll be looking forward to that while race control gets that organized.
Yeah, I think some of the couples are quite close in the pace department. I think that even the times maybe show a bit of difference, but if you look at from P3 to P6, there are only 9 hundredths of a second between those 4 cars. So
Yeah,
those 2 pairs will be close. And I think the MotoGP in 7th can go faster, but Adam has shown great speed up until now. So I think that Ronnie he has the most pessimistic outlook at the moment, because Iram has been looking stellar.
Yes, absolutely, Zdravko. Yeah, having to draw against the number 1 in a head-to-head, it seems absolutely daunting. But Roni, he's very rarely afraid of any challenge, so this is his opportunity to cause an upset and progress to the pole shootout. But yeah, as you can see, positions 2 and 7 are separated from 1 and 8. So if I suppose the logical script is followed, you will have Azar versus Brown, the first and second seeds, going toe to toe in the final. But that can all change very quickly, Zdravko.
Yeah, we first have to see who gets to the final.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so any moment now, I think the duels will start. Yeah, we see the timer already.
Yeah, so we'll get these duels completed in 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, so track state is dry and there is no rain at the moment.
Yeah, that's very important that the drivers know what to do. There is a weather commitment line towards the turn 9 hairpin, so if the weather was to change, you are required to move over to the appropriate tire as soon as possible. So it could play a bit of havoc in qualifying if something were to happen. But of course, the track, it will rain, but it wouldn't get moist on the surface straight away either. So you have to be ready for anything.
Well, I think in duels, once you're out of pit lane, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You have survived. Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Imam and Ronnie are getting ready.
So pit exit has been declared open. The green light is on for Imran, and Ronnie have to wait his turn. Adequate division between the two contenders here. But if Azar has the consistency required, then yeah, he will be the firm favorite to progress to the semi-finals. Yeah, there we go. There's the nice gap between our two contenders. And we will see there our special duel graphics. You'll see the split time 1 and split time 2 that will help us to determine which driver is doing the better so far. So there goes Imran past our airplane, as this is an airport airport circuit, through turn 7 and 8, and here's the breaking point, the weather commitment line right there in the blue. So yeah, now 1 corner to go, so both drivers should hang it as high as they can, using that runoff to their advantage and going full speed with their electricity. Here we go. Imran Azar will begin our quarterfinals from his top seeding. So let's see if he can back up his championship lead. Braking hard now to turn 1.
So he went really round around the last turns to give him a slingshot for the maximum speed over the straight. So over the twisty parts, he's doing great. But so does Ronnie. I'm kind of checking Ronnie's lap too, and it doesn't look bad. So let's see the split times. 21.92 for Imran Azar, 22.21 for Ronnie. So that's 3 tenths already. It goes past the plane. While another plane is ahead on the track, already over the turn.
Here we go, final corner coming up before the start finish straight. So the 41.5 versus 42.0. Azar is favorite, just needs to secure this lap time. 1 minute 2.29, so he certainly exceeds his benchmark from the wet to dry quali. And Ronnie, I think he's slid across the wall, and that will slow him down. So unfortunately, Ronnie Kompush has been eliminated, and he'll have to probably deal with 8th position on the grid regardless. So everyone else above him has a better seeding. So it's going to be really difficult for Ronnie to exceed his grid position. Now we have our drivers Jared Mead and Nico Pantola. So these are the fourth and 5th seed. So this is a very competitive drawing here now. So from the top to the bottom of the table, we now have the drivers right next to each other.
So as we see Nico doing quite interesting warm-up tactics, I'm not sure if that's how you wanna do it, but let's see. He has better tire temps, that's definitely true, and no damage, so that's lucky. But kinda interesting to see that this car now does not have the handbrake, I think, because nobody is using it in the hairpin.
Yeah, I saw Nico there. He's just taking an ordinary racing line. So if Jared has cottoned onto that, he might have a small advantage on this straight before our spiral first turn, and it tightens again for turn 2. Then you go to the right for turn 3. Lovely stuff, doesn't threaten to hit the wall there. Turn 4, hairpin left, and then straight to the right, a small slide, so he will lose a little bit of time here.
He was a bit off the apex, but still a good sector 1.
Oh, Jared's up. Jared's up in sector 1. Let's see how we get on in sector 2.
Yeah, Nico had a mistake in sector 2. So on the braking, his rear stepped out.
Yes. So Jared almost wobbled on my side, but he's up again in sector 2 at 41.5. Just needs to secure these final 2 corners, and Jared
Yeah,
Mead
just keep
will
it steady.
progress. Yeah, just needs to keep it steady. Pantola to the line first. A bit high line there for Jared. He may have made a small mistake. Yeah, he maybe got too close to the wall, but it's a 1 minute 3.1 for Nico. Jared, though, smashes it at 1 minute 2.6.
I think
And therefore
Jared did that line by design.
yeah,
That's
maybe did it
interesting.
on purpose.
It looked like on purpose.
Right. So there we go. The bottom seed driver has progressed at the expense of a driver in the top half of the draw. But now we move on now. It's 3 versus 6. Koskun versus Badal. Pete is adamant to make sure I get the pronunciation right. Koskun. So I'll make sure to get it right. Joshkun. Okay, I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. So it's Joshkun. Okay, I got it now. So Joshkun versus Badal, warming up now. Badal running as an independent, so he doesn't have a team name listed, whereas Joshkun has the Master Race Car affiliation. So let's see how he gets on. Warming up aggressively.
Yeah, those guys don't warm up their tires in the style that Nico Puntola did. He does not go as wide as Eoin Mazar or Jared Mead.
No, so here he goes. The curve start finish straight before the hard braking zone. Oh, he's gonna have to cut in a bit using trial by braking.
It looked good.
Yeah, he's
That
done
looked
a
good.
good job. Yes, very good job.
It was a late apex, but perfectly done.
Yeah, top of the wall.
Oh, this looks notebook perfect. 21.52 on split 1. That's faster than Jared Mead had, right?
Yeah, it was definitely better. Yeah, I think Badal has made a mistake in the first complex, and he could be well down on the time. Yeah, 22.8. So this is on the verge of elimination here, but of course it's a minute long lap or thereabouts. So Josh
Kun is doing a really good lap. This looks like
incredible.
a really good lap. So yeah, it's a
measure. Badal hits the wall out of turn 8, so he's in the mire, I'm afraid. He may just have to.
Oh, that's faster than Eoin Mazar.
Oh wow, what a lap! What a lap from Josh Kun. It's the quickest of the entire quarterfinal session. 1 minute 2.1. I'm afraid Badal will have to let you go. But he will, of course, he will be lined up better than Ronnie Krompush based on his performance in their original 10-minute session. So there we go. And now we have Adam Brown. He'll be taking on Carlos Matsushita. So this is a star-studded session, Zdravko.
Yeah, and this one will be interesting too because Carlos is not slow. The qual results don't have to mean that much because it was only 1 lap on a dry track. But Adam is also really good in this car.
Yeah, he is splendid when it comes to the E-Challenge power. We know how good he is, and indeed, yeah, there is a little bit of a clash of priorities as he is using Sim Broadcast's branding on his car, so he is earning our keep. So let's see if he can get the better of the Yes Motorsports Lithuanian superstar. So here we go, heading now into the head-to-head.
We are fully objective here because I'm also part of Yes Motorsports, so
yeah, we have
all fine here.
yeah, we're
so Adam
well balanced.
Goes out of last turn. Let's see how it goes for him in turn 1.
Yeah, he slows it down nicely. So Josh Kuhn's technique not replicated here by Adam Brown. But Carlos, what has he got?
I was looking at Adam. He's really close to the walls. 21.81 for first split. Oh my god, my memory is bad, but this turn it looks like he bent a bit wide. Not as close to Apex.
Yeah. And at the moment, Adam is ahead by 0.3 of a second. Carlos in the tricky section now. 41.7, split 2 for the Scotsman. Oh, top of the wall there, out of 7, now into 8 and followed up by 9. We'll see Carlos, he's in real trouble now. Adam Brown completes the lap. It should be 1 minute 2.4.
That's a good
so
lap.
That looks like a winner to me. Yeah, so he hasn't met the standard of Joshkun in this quarterfinal, but of course in a head-to-head, it's your opponent that you've got to beat on the road. And I'm afraid Carlos will not progress, so he stays P7 on the grid.
So our top 4 are in half a second. So nothing is done yet.
Yeah, we're far from finished, but of course that is the end of the quarterfinal stage, and it's just Jared Mead, the only driver who managed to improve his lot. He is guaranteed a 4th place start at the very least, having progressed as the 5th seed. So Nico Patola dropping his potential advantage, but there we go. Our brackets are finalized. It's Imran Azar, the top seed now, against Jared Mead. Adam Brown versus Josh Kun. That's going to be intense to say the least. 2 fantastic title contenders. One of them will have to bid farewell, and they'll have to hope 3rd place is their absolute minimum. But here we go. We'll see if the Team Sidus car is ready yet again to back up his performance from the 10-minute session. So we restart. Chat is closed, and it's going to be the 8 minutes to play our semi-finals.
So the restart in the qualifying brings another element to the game, and that is wind speed. Because this time around it's high wind speed, 21 kmh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the wind speed. Yeah, I didn't think of that one personally, but yeah, what matters now is the drivers are queued up. They know how to combat the wind and have their cars tuned to their best performance.
Yeah, I apologize for the little guy who came and wished me a good night.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, so yeah, the wind is quite big now, and that could have a change. Drivers might be used to the track that it was a lap before, and with this high wind, it might be a bit different. Let's not also forget that LFS has gusts of wind, so it's not always a constant. But with 21 kph, it can surprise you. And I'm not saying that because it surprised me in a way that I crashed out of a lead of a race multiple times.
Yeah, that's luxury for me. I've only ever led one race, nearly 10 years ago at this stage, the Kyoto 500.
Well, that's a good race to lead.
It is a great race to lead, but yeah, it was only temporary, I'm afraid. Anyway, back to the job at hand. We have a huge space, so both drivers have all the time they need to make sure they can go to maximum benefit. So we start now with Azar. He's crossing the line, ready for his competitive lap. Jared Mead is just at turn 9. So yeah, absolutely huge space for both drivers. A bit of understeer there, so this could be trouble.
I don't think that was planned. That did not look planned.
Yeah, he had to correct himself on the turn in. So
I mean,
here comes
Josh
Jared
went
himself.
wide too, but he hit the apex. Azar did not came back 22.12. That's way off the pace.
Yeah, it's beneath
That's
his
6/10 of what Josh made last time around. So let's see what Jeremy does.
Just gonna cross now.
So
it's so close.
So Zesty Azar again wide on the hairpin. But nice and collected in last turn. That's a great last turn.
Yeah, that's top quality. It should be another 1 minute 2, 1 minute 2.5. So it is a little bit
I
off compared
think
to
it
his
will be
original.
enough. It will be enough because that last turn was gold.
So Jared completes his final turn for Savage Sim Sports. Is this the upset? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, so he had the potential, but I'm afraid Sector 2
He
onwards.
had to repeat his lap from
Yeah,
last sector,
yeah,
yeah, but the wind plays a part here. I think that turn 1 for Azar could have been just the wind difference because he went so wide.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Jared can take a lot of encouragement out of his performance in the semi-final and the quarterfinal that preceded it. So he will start on the second row in P4. We have the red light waiting for Adam Brown first of all, and then Mehmet Jojkun will have to wait his turn in a little while. But he was slightly behind schedule to leave his garage, so he'll be given the instruction. Oh, gorgeous camera here! Look at that panning to get the full realism there. So now Jojkun has been released, so he can get his preparation started. Wiggling on the back straight for the airplane, now visible right there.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that Adam runs quite high front brake bias for this car. It gives him nice stability on braking, but I wonder if it will be the same for the race because it will mean a less energy generated during braking phase.
Yeah, that could be crucial. But anyway, here we go. Adam Brown has the start. He is ready to represent the
That's a good one.
broadcast
That's a good
channel.
one for the turn 1.
Very good turn 1. Turn 2 and 3 looks also pretty solid. And light
Light
rain
rain
has
started.
begun. We
Yeah,
have light rain, but it won't affect the lap times until the track surface changes. But it's 21.7 for Adam. He has reached a great standard that Mehmet has to beat. What can he do? We're checking him out now through. Yeah, it could be a huge disadvantage to Mehmet. Yeah, for the final, exactly. Yeah, if the rain carries on like this. So, oh, look at this. 21.5.
that's a good split line. Yeah, looks like the rain has give him more speed on the straight.
Perhaps, yes. Adam crosses the line at
So that's a good lap.
102.3.
It's a good lap from Adam.
A little bit wide for Josh Kun. It's down to 400ths of a second. Still in Mehmet's column, but he's got to survive the final hairpin. Combat the rain as best he can. It's very nice,
That's
avoiding
a
the wall
massive
beautifully.
speed.
Here we go,
He does
using
not
it as hard
cut
as he
to the
can at
inside.
102.27. He's won it. Oh, an amazing duel there. But commiserations to Adam Brown. He has been knocked out and he doesn't get to compete as the second seed anymore. He drops the position. So Azar versus Josh Kun in our duel final.
Yeah, that was interesting because Josh Kuhn went quite different out of the last turn than everyone else in front of him. He didn't go to the inside of the track, he just proceeded straight. Yeah, so this will be interesting for the final because Azar did make a mistake, but his lap in quali stage before was top notch, and Josh Kuhn really has the pace now. So
yeah, but now the
I don't know what will
surface.
happen.
Yeah, the surface is converted to wet conditions. That requires the road supers, so the slicks have to take a back seat, I'm afraid. And we'll try and see if the standards can be maintained with the wet conditions and possibly more wind direction changes, so we'll keep an eye out on that as best we can.
So in between wind and rain, this session will really need a lot of adaptability from drivers.
Yeah, loads of adaptability. Exactly, I'd agree with that, Zdravko. Imran Azar has been invited to pit exit first, so it could be an advantage. It could be a big deficit to him. It really all depends on the fate of the weather and, of course, the lap time. So Imran is released. Mehmet has to queue up and wait his turn. So here we go. We're watching and
Imran,
waiting. And an extreme tire warming situation
yeah.
here. Of course, these road supers can
So
take a
Imran,
long
when he
time to heat
went
up.
out of pits, he floored it, and the car went sideways and hit the wall, and he has a bit of toe damage on his right
You're right.
rear. I don't think it's too much, but it is visible.
Yeah, it is visible, and that could, like the 10th of a second is all the difference. So yeah, he's warming up the tires so aggressively. It is a pity this is not natural head-to-head where the best driver would have got the run on the slick tires and the dry surface like we
Imran
saw in
almost
previous
lost
rounds.
it.
But that's the weather in Berlin. It has played its part.
So Joshkon is not hitting it up at all. So that might be a problem for him.
Certainly not warming the tires like Imran has. Yeah, they're certainly much warmer on the team side of his car, but maybe that could play a part later in the lap. So Imran crosses the line to get started. And now he's going to hug the inside once turn 2 begins. So there you go.
Oh,
You can
that
see
was really
hangs
good.
it in the middle, right on the apex. Perfect. Now
Oh,
turn 3.
there's no grip at the front.
Yeah, the grip is lacking.
Yep. It's like they have another Formula E challenge on their nose.
24.9 is the Sector 1 split for Imran.
So what you want in these conditions is patience and a lot of it. You can't try to over push.
300th of a second
close.
in Sector 1. It could be a real showdown now. Sector 2 line for Azar, 46.7. We're watching Mehmet take the left to right slalom, 47.4. He's lost time. Yeah, so damage to the toe on both sides of his rear tires. So there we go, across the line. 1 minute 10.3 for Imran Azar, the top seed from our original qualifying session. He's almost certainly got it now, Zdravko. Yes, it's all over.
Yeah.
Mehmet Joshkun has not managed to unseat him, and he'll have to settle with the second place.
Yeah. To me, it looks like this was one on tire preparation and warm up. And Josh Con just had cold fronts, and with the understeer you get with wet conditions, that was even worse then.
Yeah, we'll see exactly then. So the rain is still hitting the venue as we speak. All the other drivers need to be fully clued in and make sure they have their road supers. They have them bolted on and ready with their potential wet setups. I hope everyone has some sort of wet setup to take them through the start of the race, at least. Like, the weather can, of course, evolve yet again. And there we go. So we're just about there's our timetable once again. For a quick reminder, our sprint race will begin at 1900 hours UTC, so that's 20 minutes from now. You have the one attack mode that must be used to make sure you have the extra boost for the duration time. So please stay tuned. We'll be back after this quick break.
Yeah, it says.
Welcome back, everybody. Our grid has been fully formed, and the driver briefing is about to conclude. So we're looking forward now to our 20-lap sprint race, Zdravko, where the attack mode is available for up to a 4-minute use, provided you cross the required sector lines. So, yeah, drivers need to be alert to that.
Yeah, that one will be interesting. It's a strategic element. Somebody might want to use it sooner in the race. Somebody want to use it in the last laps. I see it is beneficial if you have enough energy.
Yeah, indeed. So here's our grid lineup starting from our pole sitter, of course, who won our head-to-head duels. So from pole position, it's Imran Azar for Team Sidus, with the runner-up Mehmet Joshkun for Master Race Car in second. Adam Brown, P3 there, very solid job for the Sim Broadcast car. Jared Mead, the big winner in our quarterfinals, he makes 4th place, with Nico Patola demoted in that quarterfinal heat to P5. Yassine Badal has made it to 6th position. Carlos Matajitas and Ronnie Krompush are 7th and 8th. So those two drivers will be hoping for another fine run. Heading to the drivers who we did not get to see in our duels, it's Timu Sarkinen for Zafaralis 9th. Daniel Bala for Race Green is P10, so there's good representation from Race Green. Lorenzo Lachidi, another Race Green driver, P11. And then for B2R, it's Ramon Hornos. Todd Gonzalez for MRC has the 73 in P13, with Mika Sarkinen alongside with the other Zafaralis car. Cyril Bisset, we've seen him compete very well in round 1. He's back in 15th. It's Silva Agostino in P16 with another classic race green livery. Pedro Vitor and Jeff and Jacob together on the second to last row, 17th and 18th. Scone Roberts, the developer, of course, of the game, representing Live for Speed, is 19th. Matthias Arney is P20 in the number 99. So there we go. Our list of drivers is complete. Zdravko.
Yeah, and as we watched that, I was left wondering how the cold tires will work for the drivers.
Yeah, very much so. The track remains wet, so the drivers have had to equip the road supers. We have 5 seconds to the launch of the lights. So here we go. The chance to succeed in E-Challenge. We're waiting. When will it go? It's a very long hold here. Patience needed. Here we go. Oh, it's an aborted start. So we have to rebuild our timing problems here. So the formation lap will have to be completed, and then we'll get our first sprint race. Yeah, we'll have to just reset the grid and try again. Yeah, we'll have...
Or maybe just the programs will be reset. Let's see what happens.
The lights are on screen now. Yassine Badal has vanished, so hopefully he gets to come back in time. He's lost his P6, but here we go. The official lights are on. And there we go. Green flag has been dropped, and we'll see now what our leaders can do into turn 1. Very wet. And Jared Mead going high. Could he pull off an incredible pass? Maybe. No, he could be stranded. There he is in the gold, black and red. Could be squeezed in 3 wide with Carlos Matajitas going high. Spin for Lorenzo Lachidi with a spin, but he's able to pick up again. It looks like the other drivers are okay, but as of right now, Imran Azar has pulled out near a second advantage over Adam Brown.
There's a crash between Agostino and Bisset. They both continue.
Trouble. Agostino, Bisset losing time, and Lachidi has an opportunity to catch back up. But yeah, the track remains green as of right now. And definitely the big winner there, Timu Sarkkinen. He's challenging Carlos Montegiso on the outside of turn 9.
Oh my god, these cars are a handful. I watched Nico Pontola. It's like fighting an alligator in the water.
Yeah, and hopefully the alligator doesn't bite him anymore and he can get on with his race. So there we go. Lap 1 is completed. Azar has pulled off into the distance in this wet weather start. We're checking out Ronnie Krompusch. He's got to deal with Hornos on his rear left, and now the switchback potentially. The Spaniard looking each and every way. Into turn 4 they go. Is there any gap? Oh, Ronnie too close to the wall, and Hornos has to adapt. So they're going to go head to head on the back straight. Potential for any attack modes. They'll have to go to the apex or the very edge of the track there. You can just see the blue lines. That'll be the attack mode. So when it's enabled, watch out for the drivers going there. So as of right now, everyone has
Yeah,
to stay.
so the interesting part of the wet track is the fact that drivers do not have to save the energy because they have to brake so much sooner anyway. But the thing is, if you want to be strategic about it, you might hope for a dry track later on, as we have Motojuices overtaking Josh Kun for P3. That was a splendid move in the last turn. So yeah, if you wanna think strategically, you could drop a second or two per lap now in the rain and save even more energy, and then if the track goes dry, you can be that much faster.
Yeah, so just the race control message. Attack mode has a technical issue, so it has not been enabled yet. We
As
just
Josh
saw
Kun hits
Scon
the wall.
Roberts. Yeah, Scon Roberts tried to pass Bala, but it didn't pay off. And Josh Kun has crashed. Yeah, that's a horrible deformed front wing.
I think
It
the
seems like the rest
suspension
of the
is
car is
okay.
okay, so hopefully that doesn't bottom out on him.
Yeah, so he lost it on the exit of a turn. So yeah, he's just over eager with accelerating, and these cars don't like over eagerness.
Yeah, so you have to be very gentle with this car. It can snap out at you very quickly indeed. So Jared Mead versus Nico Pantola. Onto the start finish they go. Adam Brown logs another fastest lap. He's into the 1 minute 10 range. So yeah, he was giving him around some headaches potentially down the inside for a peak rather than an actual attack. There was Pantola. So Jared proving to be the nemesis for the Finn in the number 2 car.
So Imram and Adam are on another level at the moment, second per lap faster than P4. I think that Sarkkinen in P4 is doing a great job. It looks like he has prepared well for the wet race.
And now just having an 8 side by side, it could be trouble for Mead if that wall gets ever so closer. But yeah, he's hung on. Nico, yeah, it's just too difficult in these wet conditions to send it. So yeah, you'll have to try it on the start finish straight.
Oh, Mead gets
though, yes.
Sleepy end. Let's see what happens.
And Roni has a message for all our viewers today. Why do we need this halo? So yeah, that's a funny one here from Race Green. But he's going from way back, taking on Jared. But it is Nico finally through. He has acquired 5th place for himself.
I now just kinda hope that Ronnie flips it, and then I can say that's why.
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
see.
so Nico kinda dispatched Jared Mead at the moment, so Jared will be left to play with Ronnie, and Nico will try and catch Sarkkinen, but he's quite far back now. He's 5 seconds behind at the moment, and Imram is already 13 seconds ahead.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, as we see, I think that
carry on.
I think that Jared Mead is kinda clinging on. So maybe Nico just does not have the pace that I thought he will have. That's kinda a recurring theme with me and Nico, I think.
Yeah, I suppose he hasn't made a dash for it just yet. The top four have cleared him quite a lot. Yeah, it seems like Adam has been gaining bit by bit on the race leader as of right now. The split times are in Imran's favor for this particular
Yeah,
lap.
last lap it was like a half a second faster for Adam.
He's gone Roberts in the middle of a sandwich here. Bisset just behind him, having I think Gonzalez made a mistake somewhere, so he's down. And now we have no rain status, but the track remains wet. So, dive bomb here from Bisset. Let's see if this hangs on. And Roberts, he's taking contact from Jeff and Jacob. Jeff now loose in the background. Jeff now has to rescue that slide and push on again. Imran has responded with a fast lap of his own, a 1 minute 10.27. Agostino going head to head with Pedro Vitor here to the start finish straight, and this is a pass as of right now for the race green car, but it's not completed because turn one is a hard braking zone, and a tag has sent Agostino flying, but thankfully slowing down in time to complete the corner, and that is now an official pass. So the master race car has to surrender that move.
That was a good catch. So
we have attack mode enabled. It's back.
Yeah, so Brown lost 3/10 this lap, and Carroll is in P3 has managed to drive at the same pace as P1 and P2. It looks like everybody is getting used to the wet track, so would be fun to go to dry track now.
Yeah, we're waiting to see if the track will officially dry up, and let's see if anyone. There we go. Here's turn 7. The high line is where the attack zone is. So will anyone respond to it? As of right now, the top 4 seem settled. They don't feel there's anything really to gain from it. But Nico Pantola, he's on the ball. He takes the extra boost for himself. He now has 4 minutes of boost, provided he can complete each segment of the track required. So he has his attack used up. He's the only one so far to do it. So he really wants to make up the deficit to Timu.
So let's see what happens. He was 1.8 seconds ahead of Jared Mead. He goes to 1.1 because he went wider to get an attack boost. So he lost 0.7 seconds. Let's see if he manages to claw that time back and gain more.
Yeah, so right now he's lost time, but he's got the opportunity to make it back. The first 45 seconds of his attack mode have been used up. So we'll see for absolute certainty very, very soon if there's anything coming. And now we have Agostino. He's making good moves now, and he's passed Mika Sarkkinen for the 11th position.
So interestingly, Nico has lost a 10. Yeah. So attack boost not doing him any favors.
Yeah, if Anthony was drifting through turn 8 there, thankfully no.
He gained half a second now in this sector. Okay, so it's climbing back.
We have a second volunteer for our attack mode. It's none other than Lorenzo Lucidi hitting the wall a bit heavily there. Ciro Bisset will notice that. He'll go for the inside line. Could be more difficult than you imagine here. So now let's see the boost in effect. There you go. Lovely work from Lucidi there to gain the extra horsepower, but he misses the turn in here. Zdravko and Bisset.
Yeah, I think
Again, we have
he
another
has
chance
to
to
use
look.
the extra power now. Yeah.
Yes. You can
So
see
I think
it.
that the extra power caught him out in the braking zone. That's why he went a bit wide. He goes wide again.
Now
And now
Bisset should make
he
his
can't cut
car
in.
absolutely enormous.
So I'm just looking what Nico is doing, and his gap to Jared Mead is back to 1.8, and he still has like I think 2 minutes of attack boost. Yeah, so it is working, but drivers have to adapt. Yeah, this series is king of adaptability demands for drivers. You get wind, you get rain, and then you get the differing levels of power in your car.
Yes, indeed. So we remain on a wet surface as of right now.
As Nico
the
said,
temperature increase
his
will help.
fastest lap. So 1:11.0, that was his fastest lap, and gap to Jared Mead is 2.6.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Jared has been left behind now, and yeah, we'll check it now. Now 0.4 of a second extra, so 30 seconds of attack mode left for Nico Batola before he'll have to go alone for the remainder of the race. But everyone else is probably saving for dry running. So we now can have a look at the energy. Here's the energy.
I don't think that Nico really. I don't think that Nico really made good use of attack boost. Yeah, so that's interesting because he went a bit wide in few places. But what's interesting, what I see from position of the attack boost, if you can do 3 clean laps, you get that. If you can do like 1:10.5, you get attack boost for whole start finish straight. If you get laps like Nico did, then your attack boost ends. And it's a dry track.
Yeah.
So people will pit. Who is the closest to the pit lane?
Imran Azar is actually. He's ready to pit. He's crossed that weather commitment line, and he will turn in for his slick tires.
That's very lucky. Very lucky for him.
Yeah, in fairness, Jeff and Jacob has also noticed, and he's come in for a change. But yeah, race
Adam
leader
does a sneaky pit stop. Just blocks in ram.
Oh, well, mind games at play here for Adam Brown. But everyone will have to filter into the pits. Nico may have hit the wall. He looked a bit slow for a moment there. Yeah, no, there's no compromise here in E-Challenge. You have to pit once the condition has transitioned to dry in this case, or it could be a dry to wet race where everyone must switch to the road supers. But yeah, we're getting going again.
Yeah, so now will be interesting to see who just changed tires and who also tried to change pressures and cambers.
Yeah,
as we see, Inram went for R2s, but Adam went for R3s. I'm not sure if there are only 7 laps in the race, if that's smart. So Adam looks to be only driver in top 10 on R3s. And Joshkun went on R1s, already overtaking Hornos for P8.
Yeah, he's probably felt this race has gotten away from him a bit, having started on the front row. Yeah, he really does have to floor all the way through. Maybe attack mode is probably a bit much on these tires. You may as well just push using
I
the
think that
compound you've got.
I think that Ronnie and Jared Mead might be in danger from Josh Kuhn until the end of the race. If he manages to keep R1s alive for the next 7 laps, he is not that far off. And he
And Adam
lapped
Brown
2
takes attack
seconds.
mode.
So Josh Kuhn lapped 2 seconds per lap faster than Jared Mead last time around.
Yeah, that is very interesting. So lapped cars are also playing their part here to conclude the sprint race. Blue flags out for Scone Roberts. Gonzalez also required to pull over. Jeff and Jacob similar. So Adam Brown will get his opportunity to clear these cars and try and pursue the Team Sidus car now. The times will tumble a bit. New fast lap 1 minute 4.5, as opposed to what we're seeing earlier with the 1 minute 8s, 9s, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Josh Kuhn will demolish that fastest lap. He is already on tail of Jared Mead and Ronnie Krompush.
He really is making an enormous time up here.
1:03.5. And he's already attacking Ronnie in turn 1.
He is indeed, yes.
Yeah, and that's an overtake on the outside as Ronnie fishtails out of it.
Oh, he's hit him in the back.
Oh.
Ronnie has lost momentum. So it's
Can
very
you please
fortunate.
show the halo of Ronnie?
Yeah, he was distracted by the halo, hitting the back of Josh Kuhn.
So
Jared Mead
goes wide.
takes attack. Yes, he takes the attack mode to perhaps minimize penalty here for Arnie, and he's going through pit lane as we speak to serve the penalty. So Matthias Arnie already towards the back of the grid will lose out more for crossing the pit lane exit line. There we go, he's completed the penalty and he will rejoin ahead of Josh Kuhn. And Mika Sarkkinen has also crossed the pit entry blend line, so he will take a drive through himself.
Took a tech boost now. And I'm just watching at Adam Brown. He has cold tires, but he was catching Azar. If he had only took Arctus, I think he would have much better chance.
Yeah, maybe it was just an instinctive thing to get the R3s onto the car. Yeah, he's still making a brave effort. So Mika Sarkkinen serves his penalty and he'll be ahead.
Adam does the fastest lap of the race.
Todd Gonzalez. And there we go, fast lap for Brown. It is very close now. But yeah, of course, the attack mode. Adam Brown has had it for longer, but Azar, he still has 3 minutes spare, so he only took a lap or so later. So he adapted to what was being done behind him. And Carlos Motogisis, starting P7 on the grid, has made it all the way to the podium. He's going to lap Roberts here for the track position, trying to catch up to the car ahead, which is another blue flag car. It's Jacob. He's currently P17, so yeah.
I think we should call Carolis Mr. Steady Hands, as we have a fight for P8 between Hornos and Ronnie.
Yeah, this could be Ronnie on the attack. He's got more time in hand though. Oh, he hits the turn 7 wall. That will allow Ramon the extra space for this moment anyway. But of course, the start finish straight. Ronnie would dearly love for him to use up his attack mode on the start finish straight, but unfortunately for him, he is going to have enough to make it from the bottom of the straight to the top and then into the spiral turns 1 through 3. Sarkkinen having served his penalty, he's got Vitor. He certainly recovered that miss, but his front left is burning badly. That's going to pop any second now. So a setup mistake for Pedro here, and that front left will go pop. And there it goes. So you were saying, Zdravko, the cambers had to be adjusted
Yeah,
from wet to dry conditions, and I'm afraid
I think
Pedro has
that was
missed
just
that.
locking up.
Yeah.
But what I'm interesting to see is how come Arnie and Joshkon didn't took the boost yet. They should.
Yeah, it's probably too late now. You won't get the full
Yeah, but you
4
still have to
minutes.
take
Yeah.
it to avoid penalty. So
Yeah,
hopefully they
that's
don't
true. The
forget it
penalty, of
in the last
course.
lap.
Yes. Yeah. It has to be used up. So that's a crucial mistake. Yeah, just go through it on this lap, or else it will be a penalty. So could be a reprieve for Nico Pantoli. Has 7 seconds. And we have the battle for the top 10, for just outside the top 10. Cyril Bisset is through on Silva Agostino. But Agostino's coming back. Watching and waiting for any opportunity. Oh, he's missed it again. So Josh Kuhn did not take his mandatory attack mode, and it would be too little too late here, I think. So there will be a penalty
I think he can take
forthcoming.
it on the final lap, right?
I suppose, yeah, you can't take it on the final lap, but
So
he
there's
must
a
feel.
massive battle between Ronnie Hornos and Daniel Bella. And now it's more about Bella and Hornos because Ronnie kinda checked out. But Hornos is under big attack from Bella.
So Imran Azar on his final lap now. He's kept Adam Brown away for this sprint race. 42.4 in the second split. So he's kept a 5-second advantage now. Through the final quarter now is Zdravko. Here we have our sprint race winner, almost certainly now. There we go. And the championship leader builds on his advantage. And it's the sprint race in Berlin, going in the name of Imran Azar.
That's a great one. As Josh Kong goes to take a tag boost, so he will not get a penalty.
Good.
That's a great drive from Zesty. I feel like Adam has made a mistake by picking R3s. I mean, drivers manage to go forward with R1s, so R2s for last 8 laps would have probably been better.
Probably, but we will give Hornos and Bala the focus as they head towards the line. Their flourish. I think that would have been Mika Sarkkinen. So now there we go. It is the better of the top 10 there for Hornos and Born to Race. Bala will have to settle for P10 itself. And then we'll have Bisset on the lead lap. He crosses in 11th. And we should have Agostino, the final driver, on the lead lap. And there's our podium. So first, second, third, all assembled and nice and neatly. And yeah, it is a fair result, has to be said. The wet to dry conditions put up the extra elements here in our E-Challenge. But yeah, without a doubt, it is Azar converting his pole position into the victory. Adam Brown was beaten in the semi-final duel, but he made it back into P2. Carlos Montegitis, the great gainer there, he's onto the podium from P7. And also credit to Teemu Sarkkinen in fourth. More gains for him off the grid. Nico Pantola, Josh Kuhn, Mead, Krampusch, Hornos, and Bala at the top 10. We have Bisset just outside, 55 seconds behind the winner. Silva Agostino, P12, also on the lead lap. Lap drivers, Lucidi, Sarkkinen, Gonzalez, Vitor, Roberts, Jacob, and Arnie. But unfortunately, Yassine Bidal disconnected on the start line, and we never even got to see him compete for top honors.
So, I think that Dembala will be pole position for race 2.
Yeah, so the top 10 is now reversed. So Dembala will switch from 10th to 1st now, as we will have a break in between our sprint and the feature. So should be another 25 minutes to go until that. So, well, plus or minus the extra time I suppose we've had. So we'll just take a quick break and we'll see you again for the feature. Welcome back, everybody. We're now through to our feature race here on the Master Race Cars E-Challenge. It's unfortunately without Travis and Tom on the broadcast this time around, but they'll be eager to return as soon as possible. But it's myself, Eoin, Harmon, and Zdravko Topolnjak on the call again, heading into this feature race. And we may have more weather impacting our proceedings here, Zdravko.
Yeah, it looks like it's light rain at the moment, but the track is dry, so yeah, the forecast says there's a low chance of rain, but that low chance has come to fruition, so it will be left to see if the track will go wet or if the rain will stop.
Yeah,
I personally hope the track goes wet. I like to see drivers struggle as long as I'm not driving.
So we have 33 laps with a wind speed of 4 kilometers per hour ahead of us coming up right now. But of course, our famous rundown, the order with the TV cameras that will get us started. So we don't have our full cohort of cars compared to the sprint race, I'm afraid. So things are a little bit jumbled up. We'll cover the situation as best we can. Yeah, we're missing Dan Balla, but it's Ronnie Crompush on the provisional pole with Jared Mead alongside. So it's a little bit confusing, but we'll do our best with Josh Kuhn, third placed. Timo Sarkkinen there, P4. Carlos Matajitas, who finished third in the sprint, now P5 on the grid. With Adam Brown and Imran Azar ready to renew their rivalries. They are currently 6th and 7th. And then Cyril Bisset in the red. He's ahead of Agostino for race green. Lorenzo Lucidi ahead of Mika Sarkkinen. There we are. So that's slight gap here. So yeah, the grid's a little bit wonky, but we'll do our best. So Vitor was just there. Next up, it's Scone Roberts for Live for Speed. Jeff and Jacob for race green there. Matthias Arni, he is the last classified car, but Nico Pantola and others are in pit lane.
Yeah, so we are missing
rough luck on Michael there, but a great job with the camera.
Yeah, we are missing Nico Pantola and Ted Gonzalez, but there is no sign also of Daniel Balla and Hornus.
They're not on server, but we have our red lights here. So pit lane drivers appearing from each in every place, but we have Ronnie Crompush leading the E-Challenge feature here in Berlin with Jared Mead alongside. So they're also renewing their rivalries from the duels. But Josh Kuhn versus Sarkkinen, Josh Kuhn versus Carlos Matajitas, side by side into 3. Understeer takes Josh Kuhn into the wall. But watch out, Matajitas, the counter-attack is coming, but he's through. Ronnie on those slicks has pulled clear, and Jared Mead has settled into P2.
As Adam Brown attacks Iram Azar, and there's a wet track.
Oh. And it's as good as a caution period here to start lap 1.
Pedro Vitor started the race on road supers.
Yeah, everyone's on slicks at the moment, but they have to change immediately.
Pedro Vitor is on road supers.
Oh, yes, yeah, that would be against the rules now. They were on the tire that was previously ineligible, but now it's eligible. So yeah, bit of.
I think they are allowed to start and gamble on the tires. So let's see where Pedro Vitor comes out.
Oh, 2 cars understeered at the pit entry wall. Gonzalez and Jacob, they've lost time. But here we go, Pantola. He will take the lead. Well, he'll rise up quite a few places here on his road super. So yeah, my apologies for the confusion. Pedro himself now, he's making moves into P4. So yeah, the gamble pays. Sorry. Vitor is now leading. Yeah, so. And Bisset in trouble. So his promising start, it's now gone awry for him. So he's not on the correct tire as of right now.
Yeah, he needs to pit again.
Yeah.
So Pedro Ritter gets two advantages. One is he is leading the race, and the second is his road super tires have done 11. He has more temperature in his tires. So he's basically ahead of Ronnie and Nico Puntola now. Nico is also in a good place starting from the pit lane, so that was a gamble worth taking for them. As
Yeah, that
Nico
makes
looks
sense.
to
Yes,
attack
yes.
Ronnie, they go, oh, Ronnie fishtails out of last turn. As Nico might be able to attack him. I think that's the job done.
We have attack mode enabled on the scheduled lap 3. So
Do you
no
want
more
it?
technical faults.
The question is, do you want it in this weather?
Yeah, true. It's probably too early to spend the first of your two allocated attack modes. And Adam Brown has performed a great pass on Imran Azar. So he rises to 7th position. And he's on the pursuit of Montejisus, who
As
was
Pedro
there
Vitor goes wide, I
a
think
bit
Nico
wide, yeah, but
Puntola will be
7 and
very
8 if he's
close at the end of
careful.
this lap.
Yeah, so Puntola, the other gambler, he's right behind him now. He's going for the inside line. Perhaps a little bit of cadence braking. He's going to block the road. And Nico
That was
Puntola,
lucky.
yeah, very lucky. He's through into the lead. And Roni Krompush just in the background. He was trying 2 or 3 times to get his traction. And side by side, Josh Kun trying to hang on the inside line with Carolus.
And somehow
it's all
Azar
happening here.
overtook Adam again.
Yeah, and Adam has lost the position again to Imran. Wow, what a start to this race, and into turns 1 through 3. And there we go, Josh Kun. He's ahead, but he's understeered heavily, and Ronnie gets him back.
As Adam pulls alongside Imran Azar and hits Jared Mead a bit. Ooh, that's very tight for those two as Adam passes Imran.
Yeah, they've passed each other nearly half a dozen times already.
Imran on the inside now.
Yeah, he does have the inside, but he breaks earlier. And Adam will hold fort, and he'll carry on. Side by side on. Josh Cohen hits Krompush quite gently, it has to be said. But he's eager to make this opportunity count. Going full send on the inside of turn 9. He's got the power. And he is through for the moment. He tags the wall slightly. And Ronnie, he's got the nose back in front, having the turn 10
Ronnie's not
inside.
giving up. Oh, this is
never giving up here. Oh. Yeah, this is unreal stuff now. And turn 3, gotta be very, you gotta go right on the tiptoes to avoid
as Adam
spinning the car
attacks
there.
Jared Mead behind those two.
Oh, that's big. Yeah. That's big. So Adam Brown has now got.
And he has to push through Krampus and Joskon, and Krampus is vulnerable now.
Right, you are, yes. So Adam has momentum, and now.
Yeah, Ronnie
Imran
locked up his front.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big chance for Adam to run away from Imran. There's 3 cars between them now.
Nico senses the opportunity. He's gone for attack mode with Pedro Vitor too far back. Carlos Montejisus going for 2nd place now.
Oh, that's a great switcheroo from Adam.
Yeah, there we go. Change of position. Pedro, the first of the gamblers, now down to P3. So Carlos wants a double podium for his troubles, and he is the most likely as of right now to do it. But Pedro, of course, won't give up, and it's back to a dry track.
Somehow Imran Azar passed Mead and Ronnie.
Wow, Zdravko, yeah, great spot. And Azar has taken 2 positions in rapid succession, but we're going back to dry conditions. So while the light rain is still pitter-pattering, we have to go to slick tires once again. So here we go, the drivers towards the back of the grid are first on the scene. Lucidi's pitted, Jacob is pitted, Gonzalez pitted.
I mean, so that's another advantage for Nico, but Carol is so fast. He's gaining up so much on Nico Montoya now. But that's another big advantage because they're the first ones to go on dry tires, and that means they get even more track time on dry tires and get to spread the advantage.
But on the other hand, Zdravko, Nico's time on attack mode will be slashed because he's got to spend a lot of it in pit lane. Pedro, I think, was a bit slow into the entry, braking quite hard. Possibly a bit of stuttering on my side here. So it's hard to tell exactly what's going on. But yeah, just a huge cacophony of action here in the pits.
Nico goes out, and he's ahead of MotoGPs. I think Azar overtook Joshkon through the pits.
Yeah.
Adam Brown too. So Azar in at 5th. And that leaves Nico Pontoa and Cross MotoGPs just trying to hold on that lead they have.
Yeah, they've pulled out a very successful advantage for themselves, and Carlos takes attack mode, knowing
Adam Brown overtakes
Pedro, Adam. Yeah, they're just a little bit too far back.
So let's see what Imer Mazar does now. Ooh, Pedro Vitor almost crashes into Adam Brown.
That's going to distract Adam. So
Adam started to save the energy, and Pedro did not.
Yeah, so the energy saving has to come into effect. I suppose the brief wet phase helped him out. Having to pit twice under green flags has helped him energy save and so on and so forth. But Azar, he's got the inside with Kojkun also getting the move done on Vitor. So Vitor has a terrible lap, beginnings to his lap here. So he's down positions. He's got Crom Push on his case now, followed by Jared Mead, Timu Sarkkinen, and that kind of bunch of drivers. So yeah, this dry period is really hurting Pedro's progress. And down the back we have the fastest lap for Todd Gonzalez at 1:06.
So one interesting strategic play that will come here is Adam Brown is R2 tires and Imran Azar is R1s.
Yeah, good spot.
And ahead, Nico is also on R2s and Carol is on R1s. So it will be interesting to see. Last lap around, Carol does the fastest lap, 2 seconds faster than Nico.
Oh my, yeah, that's one heck of a cut into the lead. So yeah, the boost is certainly helping his case, of course, and yeah, there's a fair few drivers, of course, in the attack mode. There it is, right on the middle of your screen there. But of course, these drivers will proceed. Maybe Imran Azar there in his pursuit of Adam Brown. No, he ignores it. So yeah, the big names here: Brown, Azar, and Joshkun, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on circuit right now.
This MotoGP is so close to Nico now. I think that with the energy as it is now, drivers will still have to save until the end of the race. The wet has not helped them that much. But I do feel like Carol wants to lead the race.
So we have our energy percentages now. So yeah, Joshkun has the lowest out of anyone in the top 5, a 70% battery life left. So he's got to think about saving even before he's got the 2 attack modes to use up. But still a minute to go for MotoGP on this attack mode. So you can see him using that extra energy boost to close right down on the team sidest driver.
And he's pushing Nico go faster than Nico would want to. You can see that Nico is lifting later than he would ideally want to, because he wants to stay ahead.
Yeah, lift and coast done. To stay ahead, that's important. But here we go. This is the last chance on the first attack mode for Carolus. If it doesn't work here, then he'll have to try again later on. Slight tap of the wall there. But here we go. He's closing the gap.
He lifted,
Unfortunately, has to lift. Fast lap again, though.
Might get him now, because Nico fishtails a bit, and that's a not ideal line.
So it's still Nico Patola leading our feature race here. 33 laps in total. We're currently on lap 11. And now great drive onto the inside of turn 7. And there we go. He didn't need attack mode after all. It just helped him get closer. But Nico getting better traction. Sorry, that was turn 6, I beg your pardon. Now into 7 and 8 they go. And Carolus, he doesn't need to block the inside line. He's confident. He's got the performance necessary. Penalty for Matthias Arni, or he's being investigated, I beg your pardon. So he did not start with the correct restriction. And
while
if anything, he's crossed
happening,
the pit entry blend line, so he's got a penalty anyway.
Yeah, while that was happening between P1 and P2, Adam Brown and Imran Nazar are coming knocking. They are right there in the same scene. So there's only a bit more than 1 second between those two, and yeah, the fight at the front between 2 cars will soon be a fight between 4 cars, I think. And out of all 4, Imran Mazar, I think, has the most energy at the moment.
Yeah, we can double check that. Drivers towards the back all have their first attack mode enabled, so we'll keep an eye out on any position changes there. Scone Roberts leading Jacob and Gonzalez. And the Chidi, of course, there. He's trying to close down Cyril Bisset. But as of right now, it's all about the race leaders. Brown and Azar and Josh Kuhn still ready to use their first of 2 attacks whenever they see fit. And now that they have closed down the top 2 effectively, then yeah, they can do the arithmetic in their heads and decide what will be best to do. And then we have a warning for Imran Azar sorry, it's corrected straight away. It's Adam Brown. So yeah, the difference in the number here is Zdravko. And Imran probably took that typo personally as he goes for attack mode.
Yeah, and I think those 2 were the cars crashing into each other, actually. Because they were one behind another going into pits.
Yes. So yeah, here we go. His first shot of the attack mode down the start-finish straight. And we'll see if he can make time up here. Yeah, we'll see for sure in the first sector split. That will be the representative times. As of right now, it is definitely the first real chance here for Imran, and I suppose he has snookered Adam a bit, because if Adam takes attack mode in the next lap or 2, then yeah, he will lose about half a second activating it. So we'll see if he wants to play defense first, and then he can go for attack mode when he has that necessary interval that he can use it without losing that track position.
It will be interesting. I think that I'm not sure how useful the attack mode is at the moment, because even if he gets up to Adam, he will just lose time fighting. I know it might not be the best to watch, but the top 4 are probably the best just staying put at the moment, as Imran Mazar gets a second faster lap than the 3 cars ahead of him.
He's gained a significant amount of time there. in the case of Adam Brown, it was 7/10. So yeah, that attack mode is really paying dividends. But of course, yeah, he needs to get alongside his key rival for today. Adam
Adam
sticking to the
goes
middle of the
wide.
track, so he's a bit loose. He's a bit loose, but yeah, into 7 and 8 he'll go. He can cover his lines here, Zdravko. So here we go. Here's the enormous slipstream with that attack mode.
I think Adam lifted a bit because he's
Yeah.
saving, but he gets a nice cutback. Yeah.
So the combination of lifting and boosting makes the difference, and Imran Azar is officially through into third position.
Yep. Nice done. He did do a half a second slower lap than lap before, so he did lose some time with Adam now. That's not ideal with a boost.
We have our battery life. Battery life shows trouble for Mehmet Jajkun. He's down to 52%.
Yeah, but
51
now.
now.
On 38.
Yeah,
36.
that's real trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, he will have to drive in the reverse for the last part of the race.
Now we have Adam Brown. He's taken his attack mode, and on the back of Nico Patola, it's the threatening view of the purple Team Sidus car of his teammate. So yeah, these two teammates are now thinking, what should we be doing? Will we race or will we perform team orders? And we have a battle. Jared Mead has got defending to do against Josh Kun. So Jared got through, sorry. So now Jared will have to preserve that position that he's just earned for himself. So great job there from Jared.
A boost. Yeah, Jared has it also, so
Yeah,
it's a boost versus boost.
Oh no, they've collided into turn 3. A pit maneuver, but incredibly Jared performs a donut to recover. But an exceptional gift on the lap of the number 69, Teemu Sarkinen.
So Imran has kinda stopped at the back of Nico, and Adam has dropped down 2.5 seconds. So his boost is not coming to fruition at the moment.
On the other end of the spectrum, we saw Matthias Arni's energy levels are far below what they should be, but Imran Azar is still more than half of his battery life remaining, giving an incredible show of energy saving here, and you can really use that towards the end of the race. On contact again, Josh Kun has tagged Sarkinen on the rear left, but thankfully there was no spin. But yeah, definitely the stewards will be watching for any further avoidable incidents. So investigations are now involving 54 and 98, so that's Josh Kun and Mead. So we'll see after that previous incident if any further action needs to be taken.
Yeah, I was just looking at Imran Azar driving, and I don't think he's doing something incredibly different to others. He's just doing it more efficient. I think he has like brake bias probably 1 or 2% more rearward than others. And if you have the brake bias more rearward, you get better recharging under braking. And I think he's just a lot better in applying throttle out of turns, because if you spin the wheels, you just throw that energy into nothing, and you even throw it into heat, so you have even less grip. And he's just very steady, very smooth, and he's making R1s work, while Adam, who is behind him, has his R2s on the rear hot. So, as Nico, that was a bit too much on the rear brake bias for Nico, as he almost did a 180.
Oh, thank goodness he saved it. Cyril Bisset has overtaken Lorenzo Lucchini. He wants even more out of this race with Pedro Vitor ahead of him. So this is Bisset on the move for a potential top 10. Had to cut the turn 9 hairpin pretty fine. But yeah, he's really gone for it with a head-to-head battle. But in fairness to Pedro, he's still got 2 attack mode activations left, so he can certainly counter these attacks as they come thick and fast. But of course, with Nico Patola, he's in between his teammate and race leader Carolus Matajitas. Jeff and Jacob is going to be blue flagged here, so this is the perfect corner just to merge away from the leaders, let them through. Perfect. There you go. But he's going to be alert. Oh, he didn't see Nico. He didn't see Nico.
Got ahead of them. So yeah, what I think about Imran, he's just riding that final line with R1s where they give you extra grip and you don't slide, but he tries not to overcook them.
Yes. Beg your pardon, Zdravko. We have Imran Azar into P2 now. He's made routine overtaking his teammate. There was no real assertion with that maneuver. Adam Brown, though, he's hoping that the traffic halts the progress of the top 3 as he's got 3 minutes of attack mode left. This is his final activation, otherwise he'll be all out for the remainder of this feature race.
Yeah, so I think Imran wasn't saving at all in that turn 1. He went for the late break. Yeah.
Teemu Sarkkinen, he's still giving Josh Kuhn a lot for his bargaining here. At the moment, yeah, we're checking out his Twitch stream. Yes, and now he takes the high road into the hairpin, maybe trying the switchback. Bear in mind, of course, Jared Mead for Savage Sim Sports is right there, ready for Poacher's overtake. And there's a warning to that would be Josh Kuhn again. So Josh Kuhn warned for causing that collision back in lap 7 or 17.
So the fight for the lead came very close, but then Imran Mazar just hit the wall a bit. They also had a backmarker. I think it was Todd Gonzalez. So Imran is definitely trying to get into the lead and try to extend it, but Carol is doing a good job. There is still a matter of energy, and Imran has more. And I think it's a bit easier for a driver to be behind another driver when you're trying to save the energy, because you see where he lifts and tries to coast, and you just lift 1 meter before him, and you just save more energy like that. The hardest thing is, I think, to be at the front and try to save the energy.
Yeah, so Carlos is on a podium streak at the moment. He finished 3rd back in Mexico's full-on feature race. He got the 3rd place in our sprint here in Berlin, and he's going for the first win of his season in this Berlin feature. What he needs to do is to get past lapped traffic. It's Mika Sarkkinen. It's a bad place to meet him, to be honest. Yeah, that's unlucky. But yeah, Mika will be well out of the way from this point on. We'll check split times when they cross start finish, but that was a quick lap for Carolus. He could have been denied 2 or 3 tenths there. We'll double check to be certain. But yeah, that was just unlucky with the lap traffic. It came at the worst possible corner, as opposed to probably my favorite would be turn 9 at the hairpin. You can get miles out of the way and you're absolutely fine to carry on. So here we go, Azar looking and waiting. Yeah, so a 1/10 of a second.
So there's also a fight
Azar
between Mead and Josh Kuhn. As Mead goes on the inside, they touch a bit, and Sarkkinen cuts into them. Yeah, that's a 4-car battle now. Let's see what Sarkkinen lifts.
Look at Ron. Oh, sorry, Agostino. Agostino using the livery I'd associate with Roni. Yeah, he's waiting, and Josh Gunn, oh, he's hanging on for dear life here. Wheel to wheel battles, high line here. Oh, we've got them pitched.
That's why you need a
Savage Sim
halo,
Sport
Ronnie.
car. He's sent into a roll, and that's an immediate safety car. 100% certainty on that call from race officials. It's an unfortunate one, Zdravko.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately we can show Ronnie why you need a halo. Look at the car resting on the halo. Yeah, safety first, guys. Safety first. So this kinda, let's see how long the safety car will be, and this kinda helps to Adam because Adam had red rear tires. He had hot tires, and this also helps everybody except Imam Azar because he was the best. He was the best with fuel, I mean energy, and now the safety car will help a bit.
And yeah, the clock ticks down on the attack mode usage for several drivers. Lucidi was down, Scone Roberts is down, obviously, and then Agostino in P5 after that four-way battle ended in tears for Jared. So yeah, his final chance on attack mode will disappear. Yeah, that's a real unfortunate one, but that's the luck of the draw sometimes. Yeah, safety car, Stuart Baker behind the wheel. He had to slow right down once the accident scene came up upon the drivers. So yeah, it's without a doubt full course yellow at turn 4. It's so slow there at the best of times. So yeah, we have time added to our race lap time. So yeah, it's not a case of you're getting the jail, walk out of jail free card. So you still have to energy save for that extra window of time. So Jared now cleared from the surface.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. We don't know how much time will be added. So yeah. At least there's no rain. If somebody is listening. Yeah. So safety car in this lap. So that's fast.
Yeah, very quick cleanup of the accident. So yeah, just off screen. That was energy burnout there for Matthias Arni, so he's out of the race. He can't proceed any further. But yeah, Carlos Matajitas will have to lead the queue of drivers for the remainder of the race, plus the time extension. So yeah, everyone bunched up right next to each other. Attack mode, of course, still in session for the top 3 if they choose their moment properly, then yeah, that could be crucial. Agostino, of course, in between some lapped cars, so he's at a big disadvantage, but we're back to green. Here we go. He's launched it, Zdravko.
Yeah, that's a good launch. That's a good launch. He was 0.9 ahead of Azar before the safety car came out. And let's see, he's not that much further ahead now. It's half a second. So I think Adam has gained from all this.
So Adam Brown has used up his 2 attack modes. Race control says we're going to 34 laps, so it's +1 on our counter. There we go, race control confirmed. And then attack mode for Carlos, so he's picked it straight away. So Imran Azar is the new race leader.
That was stylish.
It was very stylish, without a doubt, but it could have maybe surprised the likes of Nico Pantola, who would have been still behind Carlos. Adam was a bit close there for comfort into turn 9, now into 10 to complete our first lap back under green flag conditions. This will be lap 28 for our race leader.
and you can really see Carol is going wide on the entry just to maximize that he knows few saves. I'm kinda not sure. Do you really want a few save when you have a tag boost? I just go flat out, but yeah, the problem is they don't probably have enough energy until the end of the race anyway.
Adam's going for an attack here as Zdravko, and he's made it stick. Nika Pantola perhaps caught napping in that 4 and 5 tight airpin section. Imran counter attacks, so he's got attack mode in response. He's got 4 minutes ticking down now. Carolus has used more than a quarter of his boost already, so he's down to the final 2 minutes 40 seconds. He's gone a bit high into 9, and Imran could close him down, not necessarily on the straight, but yeah, in these hairpin turns, it could be close now, Zdravko.
Yeah, I mean, not just the whole pace. I'm just thinking Carolus has to save. That's the problem. But the Jutis has to save, so...
Yeah, the energy remaining. Imran has about 6% advantage, 5 or 6%.
I think that
unreal.
if Imran continues for a lap like this, he might be able to run full until the end of the race. So that would be like 2 seconds per lap faster, something like that. So he's in the prime seat at the moment. And Carolus, when he was ahead, he had to try and think how to slow Imran down and make him use more energy.
Yeah, exactly. That's a valid tactic to try and force your opponent into burning up more energy than they would otherwise. But to be honest, Silva Agostino is down to 10%. Mehmet Joshkun should be able to pick him off handily enough while he's on his attack mode. And Timu Sarkinen, of course, he's still got one left. Ronnie Krompush still has one left. And their energy levels are very healthy indeed. Fastest lap went to Imran there with a 1 minute 3.7.
Yeah, and Adam Brown and Nico Pantola are being dropped already, almost 4 seconds behind.
Yeah, that was so rapid given how short, such a short time ago they were all bunched up behind the safety car. But yeah, that's the tactics at play here. Being able to use that attack boost when they chose to do it, whereas Adam has none left. Anyway, Nika Pantola, he's probably energy saving for 1 or 2 more laps, and then he'll use the attack mode for the remainder of the race, and that will give him a chance at 3rd place again.
Sarkinen attacks Joshkon. I think Agustina and Joshkon anyway are very low in energy, so they will have to fuel save more as Joshkon fights anyway.
Yeah, Timu's on solid ground here. It's Joshkun and especially Agostino that I'm concerned about. Look at that energy saving. He has to go way back.
Yeah, but Joshkon doesn't save at all. Yeah, that will surely end well. I think that Ronnie and Sarkinen both take them in the end because they just have that much more energy.
They're gaining. They've got more energy, so I would be very, very concerned for Silva's ability to finish this race in a quality position. But here we go.
So Ronnie just does a flyby.
Yeah, Ronnie just overtakes his teammate there. Yeah.
Yes, Ronnie went. Did Ronnie go for a take boost?
Yes. So Silva gains the position back, but he's just so woefully
Josh
powered.
Also
he doesn't have that life left in the battery. And of course, that's Cyril Bisset. In fairness to him, look at this progress. He's saved a lot of energy himself.
Yeah.
He's now P7. And Jeff and Jacob, lap traffic. He's got to be careful with the other.
Joshkon has to leave, while Bisset doesn't. So, yeah, place is fixed.
Yeah, Silva Agostino is dropping off significantly. He's got to survive 3 more laps. He's probably set to run out of his energy. 4% in 3 laps, that's too much. Yeah, where he finally hits 0, that's going to be crucial as well. So through for position, that would have been Josh Kun. Yeah, so Josh Kun also bouncing between power and preservation, but that's no concern to the race leader, Imran Azar. He perhaps has excess energy to spend and he can push and push. He's gone for another fast slap attempt, but it didn't quite pay off. Wow. Bizarre scenes of drivers going flat out and then coming to a near halt, and then they're going flat out again. But with less than 3% of energy, I am really
I think
pessimistic about his chances.
Yeah, I think the focus should move to Aaron Brown and Nico Puntoa. They're quite similar on energy. Nico has one more attack boost, and 2 laps before end they are very close, so Nico will go for a boost.
Yes.
And let's see if he can take Adam, because Nico has a bit better tires at the moment. So maybe the momentum is on his side.
He's got to dig out a lap time about 3 seconds faster than Adam Brown, because not only does he have to close the 2.3 second deficit, he's got to actually overtake him on the road. Final lap though, Imran Azar going for the sweep of today's proceedings. He has the pole position, he has the sprint win, and now he's going for the feature.
Yeah, I think that Imran can just go flat out now.
Yeah, careless. He is powerless to stop this, I'm afraid. It's all down to... Yeah, but a P2, exactly. That is absolutely brilliant to Saver after finishing the sprint in 3rd position. Then he qualified 7th. So, yeah, he's definitely shown his pedigree in head-to-head competition. But here we go. 2 corners to go, Zdravko. Lead him to the line.
Yeah, Azar goes into the last turn. Takes the apex perfectly. And just blasts over the line. He has enough fuel for one more lap if he needs it. As there's a crash between P5 and P6.
Oh my goodness gracious!
And Bise. So Sarkinen is on the roof.
Timu, 2 corners. Two corners to go.
Bise wanted to launch an attack and hit the car on the rear on the braking.
Yeah, well, Bisset beat Krompush on the line as Krompush had to lift and coast. So hopefully we'll get some sort of investigation done on that incident and we'll know exactly where everyone stands. But yeah, Bisset, if that result stands and it is a 5th place, that is wonderful to see from him. He's entered all sorts of
I think he will surely get a penalty.
Events, and now he's here. So yeah, hopefully that stands. But yeah, that'll be disappointing to have an opponent pitched onto their roll bar and out of the race. Scan Roberts, he's out of juice, but he can still make it. He has the ability to just roll it.
I mean, that the rescue car looks like, you know, those backup cars from Top Gear Specials.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Beetle, the VW Beetle. So close. Well, this is timeless drama here on a Master Race Car E-Challenge. That's what you love to see. It's the taking part and never giving up attitude. Scan Roberts makes it to the finish line, P10 for the co-developer of LFS. Congratulations. Well, Zdravko, we were treated to another thriller here in the E-Challenge, and it was a tougher challenge. It was a tougher job for everybody. We had fewer numbers compared to the sprint. We had the safety car and a few DNFs as well. So let's summarize it quickly with the podium in the background. We have Imran Azar on the double. He has completed the race in 41 minutes and 11 seconds. Carlos Montegisis with excellent strategic play, using his attacking and defending as best he could, but it is P2 in the end. Adam Brown, not visible on the podium, but he will be pleased with third position. Then Nico Batola, Cyril Basset, Ronnie Krompush, Lachidi, Josh Kuhn, Vitor, and Scone Roberts complete the top 10, all on the lead lap. Jeff and Jacob, Mika Sarkkinen, Gonzalez, and then the unfortunate Timu Sarkkinen was pitched into a raw, so he was a lap down as a DNF. Silva Agostino, as we said, he was right on the limit of his energy, and he unfortunately ran out, so he's down to 15th. And then DNFs for Matthias Arni and Jared Mead, who was rolled himself in that turn 4 incident.
I'd like to point out the difference between P7 and P8. If our race director could give us back the times. So they finished in the same time. That was
you're right.
That was a nice photo finish.
Wow, that's incredible. An actual photo finish. So we may have to come down to a human review to decide who actually got the position. But the game decided it was in favor of Lorenzo. Yeah, that's very interesting. We'll have a dead heat here in the challenge, and we do have drivers willing to come in for an interview. So shall we take a little break and have a chat? Yeah, we'll take 1 minute break and we'll have some interviews with our competitors. And that's our brief intermission complete. We now have a queue of drivers ready for a chat, and we'll begin with the feature race runner-up, Carlos Montagitas. So, Carlos, welcome along. Congratulations on the double podium.
Thank you. Great race.
You're very welcome. So would you like to talk about the feature race first? How did you fare after such a difficult battle, first of all, had to get through several cars?
Well, I felt quite confident in my road supers, the wet tires. So I went a bit overboard with energy usage just to get by on the other cars a bit quicker. And after that I eased off the pace to get back on target, and then it was just me trying to be as efficient as possible on the track, no sliding, etc. So that was the goal of the race.
Yeah, I think you made that pay off particularly well. I suppose, the immediate transition in the conditions, it was the two drivers gambled on the wet tires to start with, so you were at disadvantage anyway with Nico. He was among the gamblers, and Pedro Vitor as well. So did you perhaps suspect there was any challenge that if you were held up by them, would you have felt your strategy could have been undone?
As in, well, no, not really. I mean, I knew Nico will be pretty much the same pace. I expected Nico to be very similar pace to mine from the last round. But in this case, I think I had better control with the supers. So yeah, just tried analyzing where am I faster, where am I more efficient, and utilized it.
There you go, Zdravko. Do you have any questions?
Well, yeah, I wonder how come you decided to run R1s, the softer tire, for the race, or was it just a phase decision when the rain eased off?
No, I had my setups dialed in before the race. One for the sprint, one for the feature. When I started training, I first of all trained for the feature race, and I saw that R1s are totally fine. I think my maximum temperature was 82, 83 throughout the feature race, which is perfectly fine for R1s. Yes, a little hot, but still perfectly fine. So yeah, I knew that I won't overheat them. If I do, I can just ease off for a bit. They cool off nicely. For the sprints, I knew that R1s will not hold, so I went R2s for the sprint.
Yeah, thank you. So another question. You had some trouble when in qualifying. How hard is it to adjust to the different wind and different track conditions from one session to another?
So this car is not hugely affected by wind, as in it doesn't have that much aero grip. Yes, it does have the under tray, but the wings are not very effective, so it's not that huge. Yeah, so it wasn't really that hard. It's more hard for me to switch from quali mode to race mode because yeah, it's a bit different, and I'm quite bad at quali most of the time.
Well, you make up for it in the race, so congratulations for the good ones.
Thanks.
Yeah, I suppose I'll let you go there, Carlos. But yeah, you're halfway through the championship now. I'm sure you're pretty excited for the next one.
Yes, for sure.
So, Carlos, thanks for your time, and we'll bring in Adam Brown, another podium finisher in our feature. So, Adam, how do you feel today went?
Went okay. Not very happy with the second race. I made a few errors. I feel like I had my performance was at least enough to get me. Well, my pace was at least enough to get me second, but I made some like cool boy errors. So yeah, not too happy with myself. But I mean, 2 podiums, that's great. So I can't be too annoyed.
Yeah, indeed. I suppose in the sprint race earlier on, your tire choice came under potential scrutiny. I suppose the R3s didn't quite work out.
I don't think the tire difference was going to make a big change for me. I went for the R3s just because I could have a bit of a safety net in terms of the heat, because it's like it was the last 5, 6, 7 lap dash, and that's enough time for the R2s to get red when you're driving at full pace. And I've never been the best on tires in LFS. So it just, yeah, I don't think that would have changed anything for me.
Fair enough, Zdravko. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, after that question, did you change the pressures and cambers when you pitted for wets to R3s?
Well, I did. But this is another thing. This was one of my rookie errors in the feature race. I had my desired pressures and cambers for wets written down, and for dries as well, but it was in I think it was in KPA. But when I went into the F12 screen, it was showing in different units. I think it was showing in PSI, so I couldn't. I don't know that. I've never had that happen to me, and I don't know what setting that was. So I'll have to work that out for next time. But that's why I was slow in pit lane, because I was trying to faff around in the F12 menu and I got distracted. And yeah, that slowed me down.
Well, I hit gold with that question. Um, just to help you for the next time, I think that now in LFS you can preset the settings you want and then just put them on a shortcut.
Yeah.
So you don't have to change them on the run. I know because last season I changed stuff on the run and it was hard. Another easy question: what will it take to beat Inram Azar?
Give me more rain. I felt great with the road supers. I'm definitely much closer, I felt, than I am with the flicks. It's I was not expecting to be so good on the wet quote unquote tires, but I guess maybe it's because I've been doing iRacing in the wet, so I can adapt pretty quickly. The adapting back to the slicks after being on the wets is crazy, because you drive this car anyway with the slicks like it's on ice. You're so careful with the throttle with slicks, and it's insane how careful you need to be with the wet tires. And so adjusting back to the slicks, you're thinking, oh, I still need to be a little bit careful, but compared to the wets, you can go flat out. It's insane.
Yeah, you need a lot of patience. So considering you said that you're closer in the wet, would you agree that the biggest difference at the moment would be energy management?
Yeah,
between you and Inram?
Definitely. This race was better than last race. I did a bit more last race I did a lot of sprint practice because I wanted to be fast. I wanted to get used to the car. But now that I'm used to the car, I feel I've focused a bit more on the energy saving. I think on my good laps, my energy saving is as good as Imran's, but I'm just a bit too inconsistent. So I just need a bit more laps, more practice, and that I'll get closer. But definitely that's the biggest gap.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks for your time, Adam, and best of luck next time.
Thank you.
So, Mehmet, I suppose that was a tricky feature race, but yeah, you definitely showed your caliber in the qualifying. So, would you like to talk us through that first?
Yeah, obviously. By the way, thank you, firstly. The qualifying was... Yeah, thank you. The qualifying was great. I was practicing all week, and I knew I was going to be fast, but I didn't know that I was going to be this fast. Thanks to that, I was really consistent, and that was the first time that I did setups for myself, and the setups I used were the fastest on the track, so I'm really proud of that. I really want to show my skills and my capability to other people on stream, on the track, and I'm really happy that I showed it on the qualifying. If the finals and the race would be on dry, not in rain, I think I could have dominated the track, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's totally fair to say. Yeah, the weather really did play its part. I suppose. You did better in the sprint race. Yeah, obviously, we're beaten out by some of the established names that we know very well throughout LFS, but it was a close run thing. It was very, very close. But do you think there was anything else that you could have done in that sprint race?
I don't think so, because when I made my setups, I made them thinking that the race was going to be dry. I knew at the chart that it said high rain probability, but I didn't really look at it, so I didn't know it was my fault. And just like I said, it was my first time making setups, so I didn't really know how to change my setup for the rain. So when the track was wet, there was no grip, there was nothing. Like I was slower, like 5 seconds slower than my other people, so there was nothing I could have done. I waited the track to be dry again, and it worked out in the end. Like, I'm happy with the result.
Any questions, Zdravko?
I wonder how scared were you at the end of the race about the energy?
Oh yeah, like at the second race, at the when safety car came out, I said to myself, yeah, I'm making it. It's going to be all right. And when safety car got into the pits, I started pushing as hard as I could because I was like leftover energy, and I didn't know there was going to be a 1 lap added. And just around like 30 seconds later, 45 seconds later, it said on my stream 1 lap added, and I was like, oh no, I'm not making it to the end. So I started really saving it. At the stream, you probably see me fighting, but I was actually really trying to save it. I was like going full speed on the straights, but when it comes to the like close corners where you couldn't really overtake, I wasn't even pressing the gas pedal or braking even, because I knew they were not going to overtake me. So, and I had to save fuel, energy. My bad. And to the end, like as you could have seen, I was P6, but I was so low on fuel that I just stopped pressing to the gas pedal and I just cruised to the finish line, and I was P8 at the end. My gap to the P7, actually, you didn't saw it at the stream, but it was the same millisecond. It was so close. I wish you could have seen that.
Yeah, we didn't see it, but Zdravko pointed it out on the post-race discussion that it was a tie to the 100th of a second, so we'll have to probably double check that on a human review to make sure it was a genuine, win for Lachidi. So yeah, we can double check that. But yeah, to actually dead heat, that is incredible.
That was eventful race, yeah. And just before the 98 number flipped, I was fighting with 4 people, and it was so like, when I saw him flipped, I was like, I can't speak, sorry. I braked and I locked my brakes and I couldn't do anything. I nearly hit him too, but I just made it through. And just at the last second, I was going to get the P6, but the guy in front of me pushed a lot, and the safety car came out, and I couldn't overtake him.
So, Mehmet, thanks so much for your time, and see you again soon.
I'll see you.
And now, last but certainly not least, Cyril Basset with fantastic P5 in the feature. So let's talk about the good news. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, that's my best result so far, obviously. So very happy about that. I do have somewhat mixed feelings though, because I caused an accident. I murdered one of the Sarkinen brothers at the end. So my apologies about that. And I also missed the weather on the first lap, actually. I went straight past the pit entry. I saw everyone going into the pits, and I was like, wait, did I miss something? And I did miss something. So I expect to get a penalty of some kind for both of these incidents. Still, pretty good drive otherwise. I had some luck in that I was behind a few cars for quite a few laps, and that allowed me to conserve a bit energy. And after the safety car, I had way more than enough, so that's why I pushed pretty hard at the end, and that's why unfortunately I pushed a bit too hard and missed my braking point at the end.
I suppose, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the stewards have to say about that. But yeah, on pure pace, yeah, definitely really shone today. The midfield battles were really thrilling to watch, and yeah, you definitely proved yourself well. And yeah, Zdravko, do you have any questions?
I wonder, would you say that the safety car helped you with the energy management, or did it cost you even more?
I think it did help, because even though a lap was added, the group of cars in front of me was driving quite slow during the safety car, so I made sure to be really smooth when accelerating and coasting a lot. So I think it helped save just that little bit to go and chase for that P5 at the end. So when I hit Sarkinen, Ronnie went past me, and I just managed to get passed by him because he ran out of energy, I think, and I did as well, but just a tiny bit later. But yeah, I think I'll have a penalty and be behind him anyway.
Yeah,
well,
that's
for
good, yeah.
now, yeah, you can definitely enjoy the fact that for the moment you are a top 5 finisher
Yeah,
in
exactly.
MRC E-Challenge. So, yeah, you can take that to the bank. Like I brag about my 3 laps ahead in the Kyoto 500. I'll always enjoy that. So now we'll move on to a bit of human review, as I said, and I think Mehmet Joshkun has a point. His car has the nose in front at the finish line, so the dead heat, according to LFS, can be split by our own vision here is Zdravko. So hopefully the stewards can take a look at this evidence and give him the position.
Well, I don't know what will they do. I wonder how the track layout looks and how the start-finish line is set in the insim, but yeah, here definitely does look like that MRC car is ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of work done here for Travis and Tom's substitutes for today, and I'll be really excited to see how they felt about today's proceedings and indeed how they get on in New York. So it's been a pleasure to step in with Pete and Chris helping us out in the background. The fabulous work from NDR also is a huge credit to them. And of course, Zdravko, thank you so much for your time as well.
Thank you, Eoin.
No problem. We'll see you again in the third round of the championship on May the 12th. So another Sunday. Get your calendars sorted for that in 3 weeks' time. But for myself, Eoin Harmon, and the SBTV team here on Twitch and YouTube, it's a good evening and goodbye.